Hello and welcome back. Today's video is going to be an update for my project 100 uses. I'm doing several types of projects where I'm just keeping track of how much I use this. The whole point of this project is to get really good use on items that I will never be able to finish up, but they are some favorites, some high-end stuff that I really want to get good use out of. Today's update is all about eyeshadow palettes, and I'm very excited because I did get to 100 uses on one of them. And if you are interested, I have a whole project pan playlist, and I'm also doing a project 10 uses. I know a lot of people are doing these type of projects where they're counting usage, and I think it's really fun to watch and a way to rotate through your collection with much less pressure than to completely finish things up. So let's get into it. Alrighty, the first palette is the Morphe Ring the Alarm, and I haven't used this one a ton, but I am at 23 uses on this one. I do actually really like this palette. It's a nice, super warm palette, and I do enjoy it. Speaking of warm eyeshadow palettes, the Tarte Toasted, and this one I have used 30 times. I really do like this one. This is the only Tarte palette I have left in my entire collection. I have gotten rid of the rest. I do like it, but it's not my favorite formula, I would say. This one also very warm neutral palette, nothing groundbreaking. I have these colors over and over again, which is why I want to make sure I'm rotating through my palettes and actually using all of them. So yes, I am at 30 on this one. All right, let's go into a cool tone palette, the Anastasia Sultry palette. This is one of my favorites in my collection. I love the ABH formula. It's absolutely fantastic. I hadn't used this one in a while, and I recently pulled it back out, and I am at 59 on this one. And as you can tell, I do have 3 pans on this. It's very interesting how much usage it takes to hit pan based on the formula. The fact that I've used this 59 times and I have hit pan on 3 different eyeshadows, versus the Tarte palette where I've used it 30 times and I'm nowhere close to hitting pan on anything. I just think that's very interesting. Obviously, we all know that ABH is a very soft formula and their eyeshadow pans are also very small. So hitting pan is much easier and much faster than a lot of other brands out there. All right, like I said, I am putting a lot of very high-end products in here because these were expensive and I want to get my money's worth, and obviously I'm never going to finish them, such as this. This is the McGrath Mothership II. There's no way in heck, I don't even think I could hit pan on one of these eyeshadows. They appear to be ginormous and it's a very dense formula, and I am at 41 on this palette. And the more I use it, the more I really, really enjoy this palette. And yeah, I use these matte shades a lot on the lower lash line, and these satins I can use all over the lid or the crease. So there's a lot actually that I can do with this palette, and this is definitely one that the more I use it, the more I love it, which is why I did purchase more from McGrath. I've showed that in some other videos, but yeah, this is the only one of her larger palettes that I have that are $125, which is insane. I do want to buy more, but the price tag is so high. It's incredibly hard to justify, but I really just want to continue using this one as much as possible because yeah, I don't even think I could ever hit pan on this. That would be insane. All right, let's go into a much more affordable eyeshadow palette, the Juvia's Place Saharan 2. This is one of my favorite palettes. I love it so much. This is one of the more neutral ones by Juvia's, and I am at 30 with this one. I love the metallics in here so much. The matte shades are great. And I haven't really used the 2 colorful blues in a while. I should actually, because I really, really love them. This is one of my favorite palettes. This is only $20. Amazing formula. I've raved about Juvia's Place quite a bit on my channel, but I am trying to get more usage on this one. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. All right, let's go into my number 1 most expensive palette, only a few dollars more than the McGrath. $129. This is the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. There's a lot of product in this palette too, and I think the pans are pretty deep. I'm obviously nowhere close to hitting pan, but I'm at 56 on this palette. I love, love, love this palette. It's one of my favorites. The formula is just so nice and easy to blend. I talked about in another video, I don't even remember which one it was, but I said that the Natasha Denona formula is one of the easiest to work with and easiest to blend, whereas McGrath I feel like takes more work, but I like both. I really just care about the final outcome, but I think Natasha Denona shadows are some of the easiest to blend, and I love this palette, and I'm really happy I'm getting usage on it because, again, this is one that was so expensive, but I could never even see myself hitting pan. I definitely have seen people hit pan on Natasha Denona eyeshadows, and it definitely takes a lot of usage. More palette until I get to the one that I did get to 100 on. This is the ColourPop So Jaded. This is, again, one of my favorite palettes. I got this one in January and I love it. And I'm at 25 on this one. So I have a ways to go. I haven't even used all the eyeshadows in here. There's 30 eyeshadows, which is a ton. And yeah, there's quite a few shades that I have never used. I have not used Tiger Eye yet. And I don't think I've used You're a Gem either. And maybe one or two others. I don't even know. There's a lot of eyeshadows in here. The one that I've used the most is Rose Quartz. You know, it's a basic crease shade. Nothing crazy there, but I've used that quite a bit. I love the shade Peridot. I love Emerald. This is one of my favorite palettes. It's amazing. And yeah, I'm only at 25, but I'm going to keep working on this. This is actually in another project pan where I am actually trying to hit pan on an eyeshadow, which the ColourPop formula takes also quite a while to hit pan on because I've hit pan on a few before and it took a lot. Alrighty, and then the palette that I got to 100 on is the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded. I really enjoy this palette. I've talked about this one a lot too on my channel. And this one is also in another project. This is in my Pie project pan where I'm trying to hit pan on Endgame. And I still haven't. And that's obviously the color that I've used the most, but I've used some of the other shades obviously. I really enjoy this palette. The colors are mostly warm neutral, but I just really enjoy the final outcome, and I do think the mattes are fantastic. So yeah, I've used this 100 times and I haven't hit pan, but Sultry I've only used 59 times and I have 3 pans. Again, it's a formula thing. It's so interesting. So yeah, I think if you're really trying to hit pan on eyeshadows, definitely pick a formula that's softer, less tightly packed. Urban Decay definitely takes a very long time to hit pan, but I do love this palette. I'm really glad that I got to 100 on it. Therefore, I'm going to obviously still use this palette, but I'm not going to track my usage anymore. And I have used it a couple of times since I got to 100. So yeah, I am thrilled. I'm very happy. I'm keeping a list of all the things that I've used 100 times. Something similar to that Too Much Tosh is doing on her channel. She has certain things that she's trying to also get to 100 uses, and I just love watching these type of videos, and I think it's a great way to make sure you're getting good use on something that you probably will never finish, like me with this. Very excited. I'm happy I got to 100 on the Naked Reloaded. I have a ways to go on a lot of these other palettes, and some of them I don't even know that I'll track to 100, but some of them I for sure want to, like definitely want to on the Natasha Denona and the Pat McGrath. So yeah, that is it for this video. If you're interested, you can check out my Project Pan playlist, and thank you so much for watching.